Hey, welcome to a recap of some of the most viewed stories of the past week in the digital world. Let's start off with the Megyn Kelly show, where it seems we have some receipts corroborating of what a lot of us already knew for years or presumed to know the past number of years of the Clinton email scandal. Those of us who thought, Chan to lock her up and she should be in jail, it's looking like we were right. So let's take a look at what she's talking about on her show of the past week. She's got two journalists on there, Glenn Greenwald and Aaron Matte, I think she says. Two journalists who actually don't seem to be suffering from TDS. Let's take a look.
So joining us now with his take on what we're seeing is Aaron Matte. He was just here the other day. He's an independent journalist. He covers the Trump-Russia story for Real Clear Investigations and sometimes subs for Glenn on System Update over on Rumble. So these guys are friends and colleagues as well. Aaron, welcome back to the show. Glenn, thank you for sticking around. So Aaron, one of the pieces that Glenn and I were getting close to in the discussion was the Hillary piece of this and the evidence, because they do name a couple of names in this appendix on who came up with this scam. And the name that we keep seeing over and over, as one of them at least, was Julianne Smith. Schellenberger writes Julianne. It's Julianne. He writes, the alleged creator of the plan was Julianne Smith, a Clinton policy advisor that the unclassified Durham report refers to as Foreign Policy Advisor 1. And this woman, look how happy she is. She's like, I got away with everything. I nailed it. And then Obama made me the liaison to NATO. I mean, not Obama, Biden. Like I continue to get employed by these people because all I do is sit around and do the illicit bidding of my Democrat power boss. In any event, they appear to have gotten emails about her plan from Leonard Bernardo. Okay, and just to set it up again, I mentioned this in the first hour, but this is confusing. So we're just going to do baby steps here because I know everybody's holding on by their fingertips here. Leonard Bernardo worked for the Open Society Foundation, which is the George Soros organization. Very, very, very linked to, the Democrat elite, which would include Hillary. And Leonard wasn't very careful with his emails. So the Russians were able to hack Leonard, and that's where they saw the plan. And we now have in the Durham annex, like full screen grabs of the Russian memos that the Dutch got their hands on and leaked to us, where the Russians are recounting exactly what they saw Leonard discussing about this Hillary Clinton fan and emissary, Julianne Smith, and how they were going to stop Trump, undermine Trump, but most importantly, distract from Hillary's email scandal. Do I have it right so far?
Yes, you do.
Okay, you take it from there.
Well, the first thing I have to say here, just to be careful, is that Durham, when he weighed in on whether or not these emails from this fellow with Open Society, Leonard Bernardo, he says that he believes they are likely authentic. But he also said that he thinks some of this was a composite. So basically the Russians, who presumably stole these emails, put different emails together. And it's possible in the process that Russia may have fabricated something. We just have to be open to that possibility, that in the process of putting this together, there was some Russian fabrication. But at the same time, everything that is laid out in these emails from Leonard Bernardo is exactly what happened afterwards. There was a Clinton campaign plot to frame Trump as a Russian agent, and not just through Christopher Steele, but also through the Alpha Bank scam, which someone like Jake Sullivan, who was then a top aide to Hillary Clinton, was pushing to the FBI. And that was this conspiracy theory that Trump and Russia were secretly communicating through the servers of Alpha Bank. And there was all this unusual computer traffic, which by all accounts was fabricated. And then you have also these emails talking about CrowdStrike, which is the private cyber firm that we talked about in my last appearance with you, that launched Russiagate by publicly accusing Russia of hacking the DNC. And then they came out in June 2016. And who was CrowdStrike working for? The Hillary Clinton campaign. And who did the FBI rely on, just as they relied on Christopher Steele? CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike submitted redacted reports to the FBI. CrowdStrike never let the FBI conduct its own examination of the DNC servers. And CrowdStrike repeatedly stonewalled the FBI's request to access the DNC servers. And that actually
So
came
just
out.
let me just interject because I like to keep it really simple for people. So where we are now is the FBI has been told via these leaks, our Dutch friends came to our intel services and said, yo, Hillary's got a plan. It was all laid out by Leonard Bernardo. He's talked to Hillary's people. And look, this is what they're going to do. They're going to try to smear Trump as a Russian agent. So the FBI knows all this. And then we start to get the smearing. Then it starts. Like they say, here's the Steele dossier. Trump got peed on or watched Russian prostitutes pee on each other and all this stuff. And CrowdStrike. Look at this CrowdStrike document that says the Russians hacked the DNC. And rather than saying, this is part of the plan, like this is, we just got a warning this was going to happen. They swallowed it, hook, line, and sinker. That piece of it they ran with. Meanwhile, they were looking at these same reports being like, Hillary's not really behind this.
So, two journalists seem to be pretty credible, especially the one, the Aaron character. He seems to be following this story very closely. He has, you can follow him further, and he seems to be neck deep in all the details. So it's coming out, the more stuff Tulsi Gabbard and Kash Patel release on this story, it's looking more and more like those of us years ago, and if you go back, I don't know how far your memory goes, but way back to Benghazi, I'm still ticked off on Benghazi. We learned about the secret server that she was never supposed to have, and James Comey came out and saved her by saying, well, no reasonable prosecutor. Yeah, she did all these crimes. Yeah, she's guilty of all that, but really no reasonable prosecutor would prosecute the case. Let's move on. Let her be president, okay? So, that for way back, a lot of us known that Hillary Clinton, as evil as she is, should be in jail, under the jail, somewhere other than free society. So yeah, stay tuned. We'll see when more and more revelations come out. If the Justice Department to mete out any justice, that remains to be seen. So, don't hold your breath, but let's cross our fingers. So, the next, still staying with Megyn, she's talking about the tariff drama and how everybody thought the world was going to end with the Trump tariffs. He's going to destroy the economy. The whole world's going to come to an end. It's going to be chaos, cats and dogs living together. You know the whole spiel. So here she is laying out. She has a little montage of some of the people that were predicting doom and gloom. Let's take a look.
Do we have the sampling of predictions on the tariffs, you guys? Do we have that soundbite? Yeah, watch. This is what the media said was going to happen on the Trump tariffs.
You can't undo the damage. The Trump slump is upon us now.
We're in a car driven by somebody who is blackout drunk. And it's like one of those bad Bugs Bunny cartoons. It's Looney Tunes.
This is not Liberation Day in America. It's Recession Day.
The greatest man-made economic crisis in modern presidential history, and paralyze American businesses, large and small, forcing them to lay off people, to stop hiring or pause investment decisions.
It feels like there's an expression in tech called chaos monkey. Well, this particular chaos monkey is throwing feces all over the planet, essentially, and saying, enjoy it. So, I don't...
Kara Swisher, who knows nothing. So you saw top Dems, top media pundits saying it's doom and gloom, it's economic catastrophe coming our way. You could expand that. There was like, the shelves are going to be empty. We're not going to have goods anymore. He's going to devastate American farmers, up and down the board, you name it. Now he's struck deals all over Asia. We have a deal with Japan, Vietnam, the UK, and now beyond the UK to Europe, which is 27 countries. The deal with Japan and the UK looks almost exactly the same. We get to charge them 15% tariffs. They charge us zero. And the UK, the European Union kept trying to bargain us down. Like, maybe it could just be a 5% tariff? No, 15. Maybe it could be a 10% tariff? No, 15. Okay, if it's going to be a 15% tariff, maybe we'll tariff you guys too, some portion? No, you'll charge us zero. That's what they agreed to, in addition to opening U.S. access sorry, let me read my note here. Investments in the American market by the Europeans, so he's getting them to invest their money here, and opening their markets to American companies in the way they hadn't been before. Trump was out there saying, let's face it, you guys weren't really open to us. You were kind of taking advantage of all the buying power of American consumers, and you really weren't letting us and our companies sell our goods there. It was one-sided. Our so-called friends who we got such a hard time for not being nice to, were taking advantage of us, Victor. And now Trump's done it. He's taking in tariff income. He's getting them to invest in the country, and our companies get to sell their goods over there. I mean, it's a complete win so far.
I don't know the age group of whoever's going to be watching this, but I remember watching Megyn on Fox back about 20 years ago when Glenn Beck and Bill O'Reilly, Megyn, Sean Hannity, the whole crew was on Fox, and I remember at the time, and I like that lineup. I like Glenn. Glenn's been consistent the whole time. Megyn, she was pretty good on Fox, but man, I know she had a little stint with NBC. It didn't go well, but she's gotten better with age. She is. I liked her on Fox. I thought she did pretty good, but man, I really like her now. I mean, she's got her own thing going. She's doing pretty well. She drops a few F-bombs here and there. That's just kind of, I guess that's her little seasoning, a little spice. But yeah, she outlined it pretty good. The doom and gloom sayers were like, oh, the sky's falling. It's going to be terrible. And it turns out even Bill Maher has to admit, yeah, I believed all the naysayers and the doomsday chicken littles, the sky's falling. I believed them all, and I thought it was going to be terrible. And turns out I was wrong, at least for now. At least Bill Maher has, he's kind of crazy, but at times he does admit that, okay, he's not totally TDS. I mean, he still hates Trump, but he's not totally, clinically diagnosed with hardcore stage 4 TDS. So give him credit for that. So then we're going to go to Sydney Sweeney. Don't know who she is. I had to look it up when this whole drama about the commercial for jeans and good jeans, play on word, the word play, double entendre. The Black conservative perspective had a good take. He talks about it a little bit. Let's take a look and cover it on the backside.
Hi, I'm Sydney Sweeney, and I'm from Spokane, Washington. I can work as a local hire as well, though, and I am available for the American Eagle jeans campaign shoot.
Profile and hands, please. Thanks. We'll be in touch.
Sydney Sweeney has very jeans.
Next.
Boy. So we got to follow up on the liberal outrage over the viral Sydney Sweeney has great jeans ad campaign from American Eagle. Okay, that, in my opinion, has been wildly successful for American Eagle. Okay, they're showing the world that America is back. Okay, we love traditional advertising. Okay, we don't want woke advertising. And basically, corporate America is responding to the fact that conservatives are now winning the culture war, right? That is what is happening, okay? Hopefully, this country is getting a little bit of common sense, right? And when that happens, leftists go crazy, okay? They lose their minds, and they've been losing their minds over this Sydney Sweeney has great jeans ad campaign for the last 3 days straight. And they've been demanding apologies because this is how entitled the left has become. They feel like they're owed an apology, right? Sydney Sweeney made the mistake of being a white girl with blue eyes in a commercial about jeans, right? She made that mistake, right? That is a unforgivable sin for these leftists.
Y'all are just upset because she's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white girl. That's it.
Yes. Because the last time I was afraid for my life and my rights because a black supremacy group took over my country was never.
If the same commercial was done with somebody who was any other color but white, y'all would be praising her for this.
Bitch, I was going to walk away from this conversation. Then your fucking video came across my feed. Now I actually have to fucking say something. So here the fuck we go.
Do you understand that any discussion surrounding eugenics outside of the theoretical or the historical is a red flag for a fascist society? And make no mistake, this is joking about eugenics. Yes, jeans and jeans are homophones. And yes, they are making a joke about the fact that JEANS are superior by comparing them to Sydney Sweeney, who is a subjectively attractive person, by saying that her jeans, GENES, are superior. Do you understand that anytime anybody says that their genes are superior, that is eugenics?
And they're demanding an apology. They're owed an apology from Sydney Sweeney. Turns out that American Eagle and Sydney Sweeney as well too have basically decided to tell the haters to kick rocks, right? To kick rocks because they have responded and they're not issuing an apology. The apology, the statement reads, Sydney Sweeney has great genes, is and always was about the genes. Her genes, her story, will continue to celebrate how everyone wears their AE jeans with confidence their way. Great jeans look good on everyone. Yeah. So I can tell you, there were a lot of marketing people that crafted this statement into perfection, right? Because they are very respectfully telling the liberals to kick rocks, right? F off, okay? We don't care. We do not apologize, right? They're not apologizing. They're basically standing 10 toes down on what they did.
I like the black conservative perspective. He seems like one of those just common sense type of guys. Now, I remember growing up when you'd see advertisement and say your typical beer commercial, whatever your favorite beer is, and you'd see a girl in a bikini. We used to refer to those ads, those commercials of like TNA. I think you can figure out what the T and the A stand for. So, but it was just basically TNA, and you're like, hey, I don't think that girl in that beer ad is going to be drinking beer because she's not going to have that body too long if she keeps drinking the beer that they're using in this commercial. Anyway, we'd make fun of it. People would complain about, oh, you're objectifying women, and then you just move on. It was a normal thing. Now, it's okay. We got a pretty girl with a shapely figure, and now it's not just TNA. Oh, you're objectifying a woman. No, it's racist, eugenics. It's like fascist, Hitler. It's like we're losing our mind. It's amazing. It's amazing how some people just want to push an agenda so bad in spite of reality. It's pretty amazing. So, talking about ads that turned out to be a successful ad, now let's see what an unsuccessful ad looks like. We're going to go over to Benny Johnson. Benny Johnson's he's a funny guy. He's talking about the Jaguar CEO who is now stepping down because a catastrophic failure of marketing. Let's take a look.
Massive loss. And those losses, can't cry over them because you're the idiot that bought at the very top. You should have read the market, and Jaguar should have read the market before producing whatever the hell this abomination is. A bunch of men in dresses, freaks on a pink planet, dancing, a bunch of obese people looking like absolute lunatics. Here's the sad, degenerate old white guy. Here's a white guy in a dress. Here's a hermaphroditic United Nations of freaks and losers all sitting around showing everybody what? The car that they built? This is a car ad? Do you sell cars? What would you say you do here? This was Elon Musk's response to all of this. Do you sell cars? Copy nothing, says Jaguar. This is a ratio to end all ratios, 122,000 likes. They bought in at the very top of the wokeness. This is what this was. This was buying in at the tippy-tip top of wokeness. When it was all about like, yeah, we're a famous old James Bond car company. We're going to have a bunch of freaks who don't even believe in cars, by the way. They're a bunch of dirty communists. Like model our new car, right? There was a time, but it's not now. And in 2024, Elon Musk saying, do you sell cars? Look at this ratio. I just didn't know the ratio was so big. 38,000 reposts, 122,000 comments. And Jaguar responds, yes, we'd love to show you. Join us. Warmest regards. Do you sell cars? Go ahead and see here. Jaguar sold 49 cars in April. Dealer standstill. Jaguar sold 49 cars. We had a Christmas ornament that we launched just randomly in December of last year, and we sold like 50,000. Like, we haven't been doing this very long, so selling 49 cars, that's not good. That can't be good, right? There it is on the Jaguar webpage. Still on the Jaguar webpage. Still up is this ad. They're not humiliated enough. Ladies and gentlemen, the market is perfectly happy to change that. Jaguar lands and Land Rover chief fired after disastrous rebrand. It's perfect. It's exactly who you'd think it is, right? And that's something. Adrian Mardell, Jaguar and Land Rover chief who steered the luxury car maker's disastrous rebrand and new ad campaign, is out after 3 years in charge. Here he is with the current cucked beta leader. Is it illegal to have a chin, to have a jawline in England? Is that it? Is it just it's just illegal now? Oh, how far you have fallen. Adrian Mardell expressed his desire to retire after 3 years as CEO. His desire to retire. Oh, they do it very proper, don't they? 35 years at the company. His successor will be announced in due course. The company, owned by India's Tata Motors, said in a statement to the Financial Times, the 64-year-old took the role as interim boss, the iconic marquee brand, late in 2022 after his predecessor resigned. His formally appointed CEO the next year. His resignation comes after a widely derided redesign of Jaguar's brand November, where it introduced a 30-second ad displaying no cars, but a bunch of creepy woke people. The advertising campaign failed to showcase one single vehicle, relying on woke, evoking Barbie pinkness alongside cross-dressers. Marketplace made a judgment for the disaster. According to figures, European auto manufacturer just sold 49 cars as compared to nearly 2,000 units sold the same time last year. Year-to-date sales slumped, dropping 75%. Oh, my gosh. Jaguar sold just 26,000 vehicles for the entire financial year, 85% drop. The sales dip was driven by Jaguar ditching heritage roots for lifestyle-focused, fashion-forward brands. How many times have you heard this? The modern audience that doesn't exist. So this is all of the news here. They have now gone woke and gone broke once again. The numbers never lie, said Patrick Bet David. Here are two different campaigns with the result. American Eagle Sydney Sweeney ad. American Eagle has made $400 million actually in one day and $65 million in free media exposure. Look at that. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. What choice for you, Western man? Which way, Western man? Perfect. Jaguar, LGBTQ woke rebrand, alphabet rebrand. Sales in Europe plunged 97% in April, from 180,000 sold in 2008 to 27,000 last year. Buyers have spoken. Ooh, boy. Man. Yeah, and he's out. Sydney Sweeney. People love the Sydney Sweeney ad.
So, that's a classic example of leadership matters. Leadership makes a big difference. Whoever's steering your ship, I mean, they could navigate you to calm waters, or they could run you right into an iceberg, which it seems like the CEO of Jaguar decided to do. Like, hey, that iceberg looks pretty nice. Let's have a closer look. Yeah, so it didn't turn out too well. Now, let's go from bad marketing to bad decisions. Shannon Sharp seems to have thought maybe he had just too much money he needed to liquidate some of his bank account and give to an OnlyFans girl, or a former OnlyFans girl. This is the Officer Tatum talking about that.
So Shannon Sharp, God, there's sometimes if I wasn't saved, or if I come back after going to heaven and I come back again somehow, I want to come back as this OnlyFans model who got paid allegedly $23 million for messing with a rich black man. Now, it makes me believe that Shannon Sharp must have did something. He must have did something untoward to pay an OnlyFans model who he slept with $23 million when settling with her did not keep him from losing his job and his reputation. If he didn't do anything, you would think he would fight for his reputation and fight for his job back to be, obviously acquitted or proven not guilty of any of these charges that she's levied against him. But young men, listen to me clearly. Don't let your thing get you in trouble. Don't let it get you in trouble. Don't let the P get your career. Like they used to tell us when I was a cop. Don't let the P get your badge. But it cost him a lot. They say his salary is about $6.5 million a year on ESPN. He lost potentially $100 million of media deals, all for the P. And this ain't some unique P. This ain't some glorified excellent P. She looked good, but everybody didn't have that. Everybody done came through. People didn't roll through and checked it out. Shannon Sharp, you lost $100 million for some used P. You lost $100 million for some rental car P. Now it's a Rolls Royce rental, but it's a rental car. This ain't a woman who's a upstanding citizen, a woman who got wits about her. She's a great mother, and you willing to risk it for that. You risking it for the used P. The OnlyFans, everybody done seen that. They pay $25 a month or something. They done seen that. Come on, man. Come on, man. Young men, listen. Avoid this at all costs.
I like Brandon too. He's a pretty funny guy. He's a former police officer. Pretty good sense of humor, and another pretty level-headed, common sense, pretty even keel take on things. He's not too partisan per se, but he just kind of calls it like he sees it, and I think he has a good take on it. And Shannon Sharp, being from Baltimore, I watched him when he played on the Ravens. I thought he was a great player. I thought he was a tough player. He was a good add to the team, and it was fun watching him. But man, it's an example of no matter how good you are at something, how smart you are, how you excel at whatever area of your life, you can make bad decisions. And this was, I guess, not his finest moment. But I thought Brandon had a good take on it. So, and then we're going to end up with another mentally ill person that decided to stroll around the streets of New York and go into a building and assassinate some people. So this is on the PBD podcast, and they're talking about that.
First story, yesterday, okay? NYC gunman, ID'd as Shane Tamura, after deadly shooting that killed NYPD officer. Shane Tamura, 27-year-old Las Vegas man with a documented mental health history, was identified as a gunman who stormed 345 Park Avenue on Monday evening, killing 4 people, including NYPD officer Durham Islam, and wounding 1 before killing himself. NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch said Tamura entered the skyscraper at 6:30 p.m., shot Islam, a woman behind a pillar, and a security guard in the lobby, then killed 1 more on the 33rd floor. Tamura, who worked as a Vegas casino security guard, double parked a vehicle with Nevada plates and carried a Palmetto State Armory AR-15 rifle per photos obtained by the Post. Rob, do you have a clip to play on this? You got a couple of them.
I do.
Go for it.
You know what he looks like. Sunglasses, mustache, male, possibly white. And...
Was that it?
Possibly white? Possibly.
Oh, possibly white.
Oh, this
got
is
it.
the clip.
Did she really say possibly white?
Yeah. Yes. And he's going
to... Go back again. Go back to that.
They do know what he looks like. Sunglasses, mustache, male, possibly white. And...
Okay.
Possibly.
Right, so go to the next one. Go to the next one. I mean, look, if you call me possibly white, I'm Middle Eastern, guys. Okay, but go ahead. Go play this clip.
They do not know who he is. They know he is a male, possibly white. He's wearing sunglasses. He appears to have a mustache. And that picture has been distributed to every police officer in New York City, particularly has been sent to the phones of the search teams inside that building, because whenever they encounter a group of people, the first thing they have to figure out is that individual among these people hiding among victims or pretending to be an office worker? Because one thing you don't want to have happen is to have this kind of cordon where you're trying to evacuate people in groups as you can get them.
Rob, you can pause it. Do you have the clip of him walking with the AR-15? Do you know which one I'm talking? There's a clip right there. If you can go to that one. No, one more. So that's him. He just walks up.
Yeah.
You mean the camera doesn't pick that up? He just walks up. So, Scott, what happened here? What happened with this shooting?
Well, it sounds like from what I've read this morning, this guy drove all the way across the country, has some kind of mental illness, and decided to walk in there. I think the NFL is in there. He used to be a football player. And so, and I read maybe there's a suicide note that he left as well. So it's obviously a tragic situation. And to me, for New York, I spend a lot of time, I don't live there, I live in Kentucky, but I spend a lot of time there. And to me, it's a story about the NYPD. And obviously we had an officer here, and they're about to have a mayor's race. They're about to elect somebody in New York City who has said, we don't need an investigation to know that the NYPD is racist, anti-queer, and a major threat to public safety. What we need to do is defund the NYPD. So
you're talking about Mamdani.
I'm talking about Mamdani. Yeah. Tragic day. People are dead. The police show up and put themselves in harm's way. And there is the leading candidate for mayor. That's what they think about the NYPD. So I think it's a day to mourn the victims, and it's a day for New York to think about its future. Because in Mamdani's worldview, the police are the problem, not the shooter, not the people who are walking in and committing the violence. He says violence is just sort of a made-up construct anyway. And so my view is, for New Yorkers, I would think long and hard about what kind of mayor you want when these kinds of people exist and these kinds of things happen. Do you want somebody who hates the police this much?
Question is, how could this have been prevented? Right? How could this have been prevented? Tom, your thoughts on this? Could this have been prevented? The guy's literally walking with an AR-15. How do you not spot him? Where's the security? Look at that. He doesn't look like he's running. He looks like he's strolling, right?
He also doesn't look white.
Yeah.
The
possibly
furthest,
white.
possibly.
Tom.
Yeah. A couple things here, and I'll go straight to your question. Pat, you and I have been to many, many insurance companies, reinsurance companies, and large businesses, investment firms in New York. And it shocks me that it's only about 50-50. When you go into the front lobby, there is actually security where you have to check in. Who are you going to see? Oh, we're going to go up to the 30th floor, and we're going to see this company. Great. Let me see an ID. Let me take a picture of you. That's only about half the time. The other half the time, you have usually a person in a blazer that simply says, oh, it's 30th floor. You'll go to the second elevator bank.
Right.
And it really shocks me how that in New York, they haven't hardened the target, as they say. Harden the target through multiple perimeters of security. How does he, and I'm sure we'll find out, walk in and get into an elevator and then get up to the 30th
but
floor?
Tom, just can you do me a favor, Rob? Zoom in that picture. How many people? There's a guy to his left. Who's right?
Yeah,
Count the number of people. Go back right behind him. These are the people he walked past. Two over there. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 to the left. How does he go? Keep going.
And mind you,
12, 13.
Mind you, he hasn't started. I just from a military whatever. He doesn't look like he's shot. He hasn't shot yet. He's just strolling.
Vinny, it doesn't matter. New York is a state where you can't have guns.
Yeah. So, good points. I mean, why is this guy just strolling around? I mean, you got some states that are like, guns, you can carry them, no big deal. Open carry, closed carry, concealed carry, whatever. We love guns. And you got some states, like New York, especially New York City, who are so anti-gun, so freaking, anti-Second Amendment. It's almost impossible to legally carry a gun. And this guy's strolling down the street like a walk in the park with his long gun, just marching into a building, just killing the first obstacle he sees, a police officer, to go up to whatever floor he's going to carry out his insanity. It is crazy. But PBD does a pretty good assessment on things, and I think of all these people that I take clips from, that I watch them, I like them, I think they have good takes, good common sense. Megan's smart, but PBD is his podcast. I think is the one to watch, because back in 2020, I decided to cut the umbilical to cable television, and just check out after the whole COVID nonsense, the election, just all the insanity. It was just like, I'm checking out. And for the past 5 years, I've been strictly getting content from sources like I've just played, and seeing the shift, because the mainstream, the legacy media, as it's referred to, they're dinosaurs that are drowning in the tar pits. But even the cable networks realize they're going by the wayside. They're going by the carburetor. Now we've got fuel injection. So the streaming is where things are heading. And PBD, Patrick Bet-David, in his podcast and his crew that he has, I think he has an idea for years to come. I think he's a numbers guy, business guy, so I think he's going to be one to watch. Now, there's some other big all-stars. Megyn Kelly, she's got her own network. Tucker Carlson, Glenn Beck, The Blaze. There's lots of them doing it, but I think PBD is the one to watch, because he's one of those numbers guy. He's not like Joe Rogan had the #1 podcast, on the planet, and I think he just happened to do that because he's authentic. It's not like he was like planning this big business plan, like he was going to take over the world. He's just like, he's doing his thing. That's what he likes, and it just happened to blow up. I don't think Joe Rogan intended of being this genius business mastermind that is going to just make $1 gazillion. It just happened, and good for him. But PBD seems to be one of those number crunchers, business guy. I think he's going to be around for a while as the landscape shifts under our feet. And when I grew up, it was ABC, CBS, NBC, the big three. Just like your big three automakers, or say your fast food chain, McDonald's, Burger King. You've got, in any industry, you've got, say, a top three. I think PBD is going to be somewhere in the top 3, top 5, somewhere in the top when this all shakes out 5-10 years from now, or if not sooner. So we'll see. This is on record for all to see for forever. So either I'll look pretty smart in a few years, or like an idiot. Like, what were you thinking? So we'll see what happens. But stay tuned, and we'll come back next week with another recap.